I missed you too. I missed you too.
Everybody else looks at me like I'm crazy. You're going, go, and I'm like, where's the thumb? 6:59.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the worst. 2 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the public hearing for April 16th, 2024. As we have quorum, we'll call the meeting to order. The time is 7 p.m. Always like to start the meeting off in a good way by acknowledging that the city of Maple Ridge carried out its business on the traditional and unceded territories of the Katzie First Nation and the Kwantlen First Nation. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. This public hearing is being held pursuant to sections 464 and 465 of the Local Government Act. The public hearing is being live streamed and recorded and will be available to the public for playback on the city website in accordance with Council Policy 3.12. The purpose of a public hearing is to allow all persons who believe that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw a reasonable opportunity to be heard or to present written submissions respecting matters contained in the bylaw that is the subject of the hearing. Council's role in a public hearing is to listen. This is not a forum for debate or comment by council, nor for gestures or remarks of support or opposition from council. All persons who believe that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw will be asked to provide their name and city of residence for the record before beginning their remarks to give council an idea of proximity to the application. Please note that comments can only be accepted regarding bylaws that are the subject of this public hearing. The corporate officer will confirm whether the statutory requirements of the public hearing have been met for each item. Planning department staff will give a presentation on the item, after which the chair will issue 3 calls for public comment on the bylaws. Each person wishing to speak will be allotted 5 minutes to speak per call to a maximum of 15 minutes. Speakers are asked to provide their name and city of residence before beginning their comments and to address only the issue at hand. Staff will respond to technical questions where possible. All speakers must clearly state your name and city of residence for the record before beginning your comments. For members of the public attending in person who would like to speak, please approach the podium when the chair calls for public input. If you are participating electronically, please register as a speaker by raising your hand and turning on your camera. After the public hearing has been closed, council cannot receive any further communication, written or verbal, regarding the public hearing item. Further consideration of bylaws on this agenda will take place at the next regular council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to move on to item 2.1, application 2021-556-RZ. And Mr. McMullen, you have the floor.
Good evening. The application before you is for a property at 22021 19th Avenue as noted. The existing OCP designation is urban residential. That's a current designation and is proposed in the draft Lougheed Transit Corridor Area Plan to be intensive attached residential infill. The existing zoning is RS1, single detached residential, and the proposed zoning is RT2, ground-oriented residential infill. And the existing lot area is approximately 9,500 square feet with a width of 67 feet and depth of 142 feet. And the purpose is to rezone the subject property from RS1 to RT2 as noted to permit the future construction of a triplex. And this is the subject property here, fronting 119th Avenue with a lane to the south. Subject property showing it in the OCP urban residential designation and the official community plan land use designation map, and on the ortho photo showing the existing built environment as of 2023. As noted, this application is supported by the current OCP designation urban residential. The development of the site is located in the proposed Lougheed Transit Corridor Area Plan or LTCAP area. However, the proposal does not require the LTCAP redesignation to support the rezoning as it's currently supported in the current OCP. The application proposes to rezone the subject property RT2 as noted to allow the construction of a triplex of 3 strata units. And each strata unit is approximately 1,457 square feet in area. It includes 3 bedrooms, a flex room nook, and lower recreation room and private south-facing yard. The proposal meets the parking requirements, but with 1 enclosed space and 1 parking stall in a garage. Each parking stall per strata unit, or 1 parking stall per strata unit, will have roughed-in electrical infrastructure capable of providing level 2 electrical charging. And if this application were to proceed to adoption by council, there'd be $14,800 in community amenity contributions applicable. This is a rendering of the front of the triplex, and as per the ground-oriented intensive residential guidelines, the triplex is designed to appear as a single-family dwelling as much as possible, and this does appear quite like a single-family dwelling with the 3 addresses, though, 1 in the center and 1 on each side. This is the aerial view. The floor is the floor plan and site plan of the development, showing 119th Avenue to the north and the 3 units within that building structure, and then the 3 single garages, or 1 double garage for 1 interior garage unit for each of the 3 strata units, and then 1 exterior parking space for each of the 3 units. It's just a color rendition showing it in a more clear, simplified way, showing the parking spaces, the garages at the back, and then units facing 119th Avenue to the north in a generalized landscape rendering. This is a section just running north-south showing the building, the main building with 119th Avenue to the left, and then the lane to the right, and 1 of the garages and exterior parking spaces. And then the rear of the project from the lane showing the double garage, which has 2 spaces for 2 of the units, and the single garage for 1 space for 1 of the other units, and then the 3 outdoor spaces. So each unit has 2 spaces. And this is the elevations of showing the front elevation facing 119th Avenue, the upper left corner, the lower left corner, the south rear elevation facing the lane, and then the 2 side elevations of the building. And then just to note that the zone and amending bylaw 783022 was given second reading on February 27th, 2024, and forwarded to this public hearing not of March 12th, but April 23rd. I think there's been a change there. Also, the following conditions must be met prior to final reading. Registration of a rezoning servicing agreement as a covenant, and receipt of the security deposit for the engineering works, road dedication of the lane as required. That's 0.75 meters of road dedication, approval of the Ministry of Transportation Infrastructure, given that the project is within 800 meters of Lougheed Highway, and registration of a restrictive covenant for stormwater management and removal of the existing buildings. And then registration of a covenant for the geotechnical report regarding the suitability of the site for the proposed development. And in addition to the standard Ministry of Environment site disclosure statement provided by a professional engineer confirming that there's no underground fuel storage tanks on the property. And that there be a voluntary contribution of $7,400 per unit, or $14,800 for the 2 units, in addition to the existing exempt unit that would be payable at time of adoption. Your worship and council.
Thank you very much. And at this point, we will open this up for public hearing. Is there anybody in chambers or online who wish to speak? Seeing none, we'll do a second call. Is there anybody in chambers or online who would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll do a third and final call. Is there anybody in chambers or online who wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, I will then close this public hearing on this item. And having said that, as we have no further business, we will adjourn for the evening. Thank you all very much.